Hey, everybody, welcome. We are live. This is the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series, where we are bringing back the lost art of conversation and style with amazing guests who come in, who stop by JMS from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, authors, and so much more. And we always have a grand time when we see you guys tuning in, chatting in our exclusive JMS chat room. What is that? Well, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which costs nothing, it literally is just hitting that red button you see right there on our YouTube channel, this button that says subscribe. When you click on that, it makes you really a part of something special. Our community here of JMS Lovedies, the folks who watch our show, the folks who've been with us, some of them since day one, but coming up on almost 2 years of doing this series, just about live, well, live definitely, but just about 2 years, 650 episodes. We're just a few episodes away from 650 episodes of this series, our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series for all of you, with guests who've come in from all around the world, viewers who watch from all around the world. We come at you live. That alone is quite a daunting task, to come at you guys live, because anything can happen and usually does. And just really so cool. And again, you guys know I work in television and radio professionally, so the days are really, really busy. And then we turn on these lights here and all the studio lighting, and we say hello to you and you and you and you. How's your day going? I hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, well, stay right here. You know what happens at the Jim Master Show Live. We try to have some fun. We get into poignant conversations. We go in all kinds of different directions. Every episode is something different, something special, something unique, and it's here for all of you. So welcome to the show. This is something we love doing, and I can't still believe it's been that many episodes, but we're going to continue to bring you the best content in the best way, professionally, that we can. And thanks for all the love, the support. So many of you are sharing the links on your social media, and that means the world to us. So continue to share our YouTube episode links on your social media. Lovely Squad, let everybody know about our series as we continue to build and grow day in and day out. It takes a village and yeoman's effort, a lot of work behind the scenes to pull off a series like this daily in the way that we do it, but we love doing it, and we do it all for you. So just a little note of thanks to our viewers, the supporters. If you would like to chat in the Lovely Squad chat room right now, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's a free gift for all of our viewers who are watching live. If you don't get a chance to do that when the show is live and you watch this episode later, because we archive all of the episodes in our series, feel free to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well. We would absolutely love that. So again, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a good day today. If not, well, the world is a crazy place. We see a lot of great comments coming in here. We're going to take a look at some of those. Thanks, Lovely Squad, for the love and the support of our series. And boy, am I excited. We've got an amazing guest joining us, and she's really talented, and she's funny, and she's just fantastic. Broadway, television, stage, you throw it at her, she'll take it and she'll turn it into some magic. We're talking about Harada, of course. You know her from Cinderella, you know her from Avenue Q, and so many other incredible performances, projects, productions. We're very excited to have her here on the show. I know many of you are as well. I see a lot of comments here. Thanks, gang. Keep those comments coming. Again, you can chat in our live chat room right now when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. American actress and singer who is best known for the musical Avenue Q, in which she originated the role of Christmas Eve, the heavily accented Japanese therapist. She was born in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, and raised there as well. And after college, she moved to New York City, anticipated really working in production, and worked with producer Suzanne Schwartz in finding stage production not completely satisfactory. She performed with the New York City Gay Men's Chorus as a vocalist, performed Cabaret, and appeared in the Broadway production of M. Butterfly as well. And ever since then, she has just been on fire. She was in the original Broadway company of Seussical. That's right, as well. She also, in addition to Avenue Q, she's done television. She's done film. She just does it all. And we're so excited to have her here. I want to tell you about some of the other things too. 2007, she joined the Broadway company of Les Miserables. Yes. And she replaced British actress Jenny Galloway. And really incredible. Of course, everybody loves that as well. And she also was on the Disney Channel. I know for those of you that love Disney, she was in the Muni's production of High School Musical, just some of the incredible things. She was in the original cast of Dolly Parton's musical 9 to 5. That's right, based on the film of the same name. Again, this is just the short list, folks. She, of course, appeared as Linda, the stage manager of the show within a show, in 18 episodes of NBC's musical drama Smash, alongside Angelica Houston, Jack Davenport, Deborah Messing, of course, and her 9 to 5 colleague, Megan Hilty. And she also, from 2013 to 2014, appeared in the Broadway premiere of Cinderella as the stepsister Charlotte. Yes. Again, this is just the short list of some of the incredible things that she's had an opportunity to be a part of. Lots of cool TV shows, lots of productions. Mamma Mia, 42nd Street, Bombshell, Stephen Sondheim's Pacific Overtures, Rodgers and Hart's musical, I Married an Angel. Again, just really giving you a little, just whetting your appetite of her incredible career. Prolific, absolutely prolific. As far as some of the other stage credits, The Nerd and Gypsy, Holiday Inn, Matilda. It's really amazing. And she loves it. She's been doing this for a long time. She's a pro. And we're so excited to have her here live and direct from New York City, from her home. Will you put your hands together, gang, and welcome our very special guest, Anne Harada, here on the Jim Masters Show Live, Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Anne, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. And that was just the short list of the things that you've done and continue to do. It's amazing. I'm sure when you hear it back, you're like, that's true. I did that. I forgot about that.
Well, when you've been here as old as I am, Jim, and then you start rolling out my credits from like year one, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take hours. But thank you. That's so nice.
I did a condensed version just in case, because I know it's the dinner hour there. How are you? And welcome to the show. It's really a treat to have you here. And thanks for hopping on. I really appreciate, you're taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on the Jim Masters Show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I am too. What are some current things? We'll talk about some of the things you've done. And that, again, that was just a condensed version. Well, what are some of the cool things that you're doing right now? Because obviously, the last 2 years have been quite interesting, and they could be a Twilight Zone episode themselves, but things are coming back, and stages are open, and studios are producing again, which is so cool to see. How have you gotten through it all? And what are some of the cool things you're working on now?
Well, honestly, for me, the pandemic is the best thing that's ever happened to my career. I honestly worked more during the pandemic than I did before the pandemic.
I've heard people say that. Yes.
I was so popular all of a sudden that I just didn't know what to do. I ended up
You've always been popular.
Well, yes, but not like on a
this is a viral
level because it was, I had to go to Canada to shoot Schmigadoon for Apple TV Plus, which is a show I'm very, very proud of. So that was, 3 months in Canada. And then I went to Ireland last summer and shot a Disney movie called Disenchanted. And then I went to Atlanta and I shot a movie called Jerry and Marge Go Large, all of which we're sort of waiting for to be released, on various platforms.
Yes.
But I just literally returned from London like 3 days ago because we did some reshoots on Disenchanted. So I was in London for the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
I'm an international movie star.
You are an international, and now you're a Lovety on the Jim Masters Show
There
live.
it
How's
is.
that,
There it
huh?
is. Yeah,
That's
totally.
it. You've worked
Now I've
all
made
your
it.
life for
Yeah.
that. That's it. Like I
Yeah.
say, there's Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, Peabodys, Tonys, Tellys, all of that. But when you get a Lovety on the Jim Masters Show live, are your feet tingling?
Yes.
That's what I figured. So how did you get started? You grew up in beautiful. Now, some people would say she grew up in Hawaii and from Honolulu. Why did she leave?
I
Most people
know.
aspire to do all the rat race and then end up there. Tell us about the early years and some of the inspirations for you growing up in Hawaii that maybe pointed you in the direction of doing this work in the creative arts, Sam.
Well, Hawaii is one of those places where if you're interested in outdoor sports, you know, y- you will be very happy there. And you would
Surfing and
surfing, mountain climbing, any sort of thing really, aquatic, scuba, you know what I mean?
yes.
Outdoor sports. I'm not interested in that. So I was interested in being in a dark room watching theater, and I really could not do that in Hawaii very effectively. So I had to move to the mainland. I went to college, Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, my cousin went there. Great
Oh,
school.
yeah, great school. And I moved to New York right after that. And I got a job working as an intern in a producer's office. And that was my first Broadway show I worked on called Sleight of Hand. It lasted a week, but I learned so much about theater and that I didn't want to be a producer. Um, and, and I started auditioning as an actor. And that just sort of started. Wait, I mean, Hawaii, I had done community theater, I'd done high school theater, the things that were available to me, but there really wasn't a professional theater scene there. Why
Right.
would there be? Because everybody's outside,
Yes.
doing outdoorsy things. It is a beautiful place. Obviously, most of my family is still there, and
You're still there.
I miss Hawaii very, very much. Of course, who
Mm.
wouldn't? It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. So you went from Hawaii straight to New York. That was the first place?
no, I went to Brown. I went to Brown for college, and then
Providence, and then
then New York.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you knew New York versus because some people Los Angeles is their choice, but you were was the theater
Yes,
spoke to you?
yes. I wanted to
Yeah.
work in the theater. I always felt I would have a job in the theater. I just didn't know which job it was going to be. Do you know what I
So
mean?
yeah, I mean to go into production and have a taste of the production side, did you know underneath that you wanted to be a performer? Because sometimes people will go in behind the scenes in hopes that they'll be able to then really do what they want to do, which is maybe the on
Well,
camera or on stage stuff.
here's
Did
the
you know?
thing. I loved performing always, but after college, I wasn't really sure I had the talent to be a performer in New York. It's a lot different
Oh
school
yeah.
theater and community theater versus professional theater, right? So I just didn't know if I had the stuff. And I figured if I went to New York and had a job in the theater, I would be able to figure it out for myself. Whatever it was that I was good at. I could have worked backstage. I was really interested in all of those kinds of jobs. And when I worked for the producer, I got to sit in on all these meetings, production meetings, advertising, and all these different things. And I thought, well, I could do that. I could go into casting. There's all kinds of jobs related to the theater
Right.
and I was interested in all of them. But ultimately, I was most drawn to performing, and I thought, well, I'll try it. And if that doesn't work out, I will find another job in the theater, and I won't be sad. I've always just known that I would work in the theater.
So that's really cool that you had that desire, you had that understanding. So you had that opportunity behind the scenes. What then happened from there? How did it start to set the seeds in motion for the performance career? And thank God you went in that direction, because I've seen you and your work, and you're fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I met a lot of people um, working on this production, and one of them was the casting director, and she also happened to be a casting director for a Broadway show called M. Butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she came to see my cabaret that I did at the duplex, and she remembered me when this role came up she needed a replacement, and she thought, I'll bring Anne in. And this was all because we met working on this, not because of that I was such a great actor. She'd seen me so many times. She saw me one time in this cabaret, and she thought, I'll bring her in and see how she does. I got the part. So that was my Broadway debut in M. Butterfly, because this casting director that I had met just as a intern thought of me, which is really special.
Our friend June is here. Hi, everyone.
Yes,
Hi,
hi,
Ann and
June.
Jim. Hey, June. They're in Maryland. So then what? Oh, I like that. Is that your phone?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
very nice.
Hopefully somebody will answer it.
That's a nice. I hope we don't get a copyright claim on that sound. YouTube's funny with that. So then you take us through then, okay, so that starts to happen. So then what are some other things in the Big Apple that came your way that really started to set things in motion, and where people started, the right people, the casting, the producers, the directors, they started seeing you and really started loving what you do and what you contribute to a production, and saying, let's bring in on. When did that really start to happen and really start to roll for you?
I would have to say after Avenue Q, because once people saw Avenue Q, I never had to explain who I was to anyone. They just knew. It was such a big hit and made such an impact, I guess, on people that, kind of like I feel like all jobs have stemmed from Avenue Q. All the jobs that I've had since then, which is, that was back in like 2003 that show started. Um, and I've just been so lucky to sort of been reaping the benefits of it ever since.
How did that even happen? I mean, Avenue Q was such a unique production on so many different levels. How did that happen for you?
Well, again, it was one of those things where it's just because somebody knows you. Um, the writers, Bobby Lopez and Jeff Marks, were in the BMI workshop, and that's where they developed Avenue Q. And they needed an Asian actor to sing a line in a song they had written called Everyone's a Little Bit Racist. And they wanted to perform it, for their fellow classmates. So they basically just asked the class, like, hey, does anybody know an Asian actress? And my friend, Amanda Green, who's, a brilliant lyricist, opening a Broadway show very soon, Mr. Saturday Night.
Congratulations. Yeah.
We had gone to college together, and she kind of raised her hand and said, I know somebody, here's her phone number. and then they called me, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm not doing anything Thursday. You know what I mean? It just sort of happens. And then from then on, that was it. I was always Christmas Eve after that in every incarnation, basically because I wouldn't let anybody else play the part. I just made myself available. Let's put it like that.
They suddenly all had flat tires the nights they needed to be
Everybody
there, right?
Else, didn't make it to the audition. But that was it. That's why. That's how. You just say yes to people. That's really it.
Yes.
Whether you know them or not, whether you've heard of them or not.
Yes, exactly.
And then, sometimes you luck out and the material is so funny and speaks to you so directly, which that's what Avenue Q was like. I never thought Avenue Q would be as big a hit as it was because I liked it so much. And usually things I like aren't that popular. But
I know what you mean on that.
It all worked out,
Yeah. Are you an old soul?
Oh, I'm an ancient soul. I couldn't be any older, I don't think.
I'm right there with you, kindred spirits on that. So Avenue Q was really a pivotal, launch pad that led to so many other incredible productions and events and projects for you. I have a couple of different things we can sort of scroll through, and maybe you can take us through it all. Look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Yes,
Oh,
we did our research.
Yes, I should say this is Mamma Mia at the Muni. I'm standing to Justin Guarini, and Julia Murney is on my other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had the blast. Working at the Muni is so fun because you have to throw it together in 11 days and then do it in front of like 13,000 people a night or whatever it is, 11,000 people, whatever that outdoor
Magic
theater
amount,
holds.
right?
It's huge. It's ridiculous. And when you do a show like Mamma Mia, which is just so much fun and everybody's dancing, and I don't know, it's like being a rock star. It really was. So
isn't it?
That was one of the most joyous experiences I've ever had, was Mamma Mia at the Muni.
Yeah, I tell
I'd do it again in a second.
You would, huh?
Oh yeah, you bet. Oh, hello. So
is that Tyne Daly in the middle?
It is Tyne Daly,
yes.
And the other lady, Alison Fraser.
Oh, yes.
This is at the York Theater. We did a production of what is it called? Dear World. It's called Dear World. It's based on the play Mad Women of Chaillot, which is all I could think of. It was like, oh yeah, look, there we are, the three Mad Women of Chaillot. And I was like, that's not the name of the musical. Dear World, the Jerry Herman show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
what was that like working with them? And
I mean, Tyne is like one of the great actresses of
she's
our
incredible,
time.
right? Yeah,
she's incredible.
Give her anything and she just doubles what you expect.
Totally. So it was thrilling, and Allison's been a personal hero of mine for so long because, of course, she was part of the whole original gang of Falsetto Land and falsettos, and
yeah,
that was like my jam. When I was a young actress, I wore those tapes out. That's right. I used cassette tapes then, because that's
I still have them. I pulled them out and I've been listening to them.
Good for you.
They sound good, Still have all the equipment.
I don't have a working Walkman. I can't.
Oh yeah, and you don't have that boom box or the double cassette deck.
It's just terrible.
And now if you try to find,
I'm sure they're expensive.
That, and if you have like a VCR player, VHS player, and it breaks, to try to get a new one, it's like
just
triple what it used to cost.
Because now it's esoteric, equipment. But back in the day, it was all just, that's what we had, and we used it. We wore it out,
What a fantastic way to describe it. Esoteric equipment. I like that. Double E. That is funny. Here's another fabulous shot we dug up.
Oh, I loved this show. Okay.
Yeah.
This was the New World out at Bucks County Playhouse. And there's Justin Guarini again. He's 2 over from me this time. He played my son. Yeah, it was an original musical written by my good friends Gary Adler and Phoebe Kreutz. And we did this out at Bucks County. It was all about the events leading up to the first Thanksgiving, which is what this picture is supposed to represent.
Now, do you stay in touch with each other, like through these various productions? Like
yes.
Justin and all. Do you guys stay in touch?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
No, of course. Theater is, you just keep running into the same people over and over again. So, yeah, I cross paths with these people pretty regularly, I would say.
Well, definitely when you tell Justin, when you see him next, he's welcome to pop on our show. Love to have him. It'd be great to chat with him, because a lot of people know him also from, was it American Idol or something?
American Idol. He was almost our American Idol.
But
not quite our American Idol.
But his background is so much more than that too, right?
Wonderful. Yeah. He's a wonderful actor. I've gotten a chance to do a lot of projects with him, and he's always great.
You ever have a day
Dear.
where you feel like you just want to put the bag on your head and just hide?
Okay, this is a crazy show called The Nerd. And this was out at George Street Playhouse. Um, yeah, I'm like, and where am I in this shot? I know. Oh, there I am. I'm behind the couch.
Yes.
But we had a blast. It's just fun to do. It's just fun to do all kinds of shows. What can I say?
Yes. Now, how did that one come about? How did you end up doing that one?
I got a call from the director who said, "Would you like to come do this with me?" And I said, "Yes, thank you." That's all. That's all it takes. I don't,
That's the other thing too, I mentioned, which I think is this is just a funny, cool shot. 9 to 5.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that. I mean, how did that
Funny.
happen?
Well, I went in to audition for the show, and I they offered me the part of Allison Janney's understudy. And that I would be on the ensemble as well. And I took the job because I thought it was so funny that anybody would want me to cover Allison Janney, because she is 6 foot tall and thin and very glamorous, as you know, and I am a short, round dumpling girl. And I just thought, why would you hire me to cover Allison? Like the whole thing just didn't make any sense in my head. So of course I went, of course I will, like an idiot.
Well, of course. Yeah.
And so there I am doing 9 to 5, and poor Andy Blankenbuehler didn't even get to audition me. This was just presented to him as a deal. Like, we hired this girl, now you have to use her. And, I don't really dance very well. And that poor guy had to put me into all these numbers, and I don't know, it was rough. I feel badly for everybody involved watching me try to dance that show.
But you did it.
I did. I got through it. We all lived, even though one time I did fall down and I had to army crawl off stage because I didn't know it was the fastest way out. And I was like, I don't know, I gotta get off stage.
Have you ever had people? This question cannot have not come across your desk. Has anybody ever asked you to do stand-up comedy?
Yes.
I
never will do it.
I knew that I'm sure that they've attempted to get you to do it.
No, they have.
Because you do have, and even in a lot of these productions, you have a dry wit that's quick and fast and on point. And I mean, that's some of my favorite kind of humor is dry, witty humor. And you just boom, 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 boom.
Don't ask me to do that. It's so not in
You've
my
been
wheelhouse.
asked, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
yeah. And I just am like, that's not me. I have a hard time being me. Do you know what I mean? I have a hard time being on stage as me. I have to be a character.
Right.
I'm not good at just myself.
And the humor and the wit comes as it comes. You don't want to have to do it where you have to do it. You do it because it rolls out. Right. Exactly. It's part of who you are, but you don't want to have to stand on stage and bang out constant
hey
jokes.
Guys,
Hey,
what about flying? No, I just can't. I can't. The thought of it just makes me go, ooh.
Things that make you go, ugh.
Yeah, no thanks. Pass. Oh, hi.
There's Avenue Q again,
There's
huh?
Avenue Q. Oh.
Do you remember this particular scene for people watching who have
Do
not
I remember
seen
this particular scene? Yes.
Your feet were killing you that day, or what?
No, we were at the Vineyard. This is from the Off-Broadway. This is a shot from Off-Broadway. I know because my costume is different than the Broadway costumes. This one was bought from Express. And yeah, this is the number everyone's a little bit racist. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I know exactly what we're gonna do next in this scene.
That's a tease if you ever heard one. Of course. Now look at
this. I loved this. I loved this outfit. Look at it. Isn't it great? This is I Married an Angel from Encores. A very obscure Rodgers and Hart show that will never ever get done because it's just too hard to do. One. The lead has to be a brilliant ballerina. Luckily, we had one,
Yes.
Sarah Mearns, but it will never get done. It's just too old and
Yeah.
weird, but it's interesting to try to do them for, a weekend and at Encore. At Encores. Yes. Oh, the glamour. The glamour.
Yes, huh?
Oof.
What are you saying there in that photo?
I'm saying I'm a duchess and get out of my way. Which, how many times does one really get to say that?
Yeah. You want me to do what? 8 times a week?
8 times
want me
what?
to do what?
No. That's a terrible idea.
Seussical, another beloved. Tell us about that, huh?
Oh my gosh, Seussical.
You've been around the block.
Honey. So I had done this all Asian production of Falsetto Land that Stephen Flaherty had seen. And he thought of me for Seussical. So that's how I ended up in Seussical. And I did every workshop of that show. And I loved that show. And we developed it in Toronto, and it was like people just loved it. And then we came in and we were a huge flop. It was very disappointing, obviously, but we all stayed very close because of that. When a show is troubled and it goes through a lot of changes and stuff, everybody bonds, and it's like you were in the same platoon in the war together. So I'm still very close to all of those people in Seussical.
So when that happens, because any of these industries that we're in, sometimes you put your heart and soul into it, you work hard, everything seems to be great, and it lasts a week, 13 weeks in television if you're lucky.
Right.
And then that's it. It comes to an end. How do you handle it? What are some things that you've done? Do you not wallow in that? Are you good at detaching and moving on to the next thing?
I am now, after so many years in the business. I think you just have to sort of approach everything as this is a gift that you're given, is this job that you have. And each experience is unique and wonderful. And each group of people that you work with are, become your family for a short time. And you don't have them for that long sometimes, but you're grateful to have had that experience. And that's sort of how I feel about all the shows I have done before and since, is that I usually know it's going to be a short period of time. It's just by its very nature, things don't last forever, unless I was in Phantom of the Opera. But,
yes,
but by their very nature, shows just kind of go away after a little bit, and then that's it. And so you kind of just sort of have to roll with it and be okay with that. And
are there productions and shows that you would still like to be a part of, or maybe they're not around anymore and wished you had been a part of, whether it's Broadway, off Broadway, or even maybe television, because you've had your fair share of great television productions and shows as well?
No, I don't want to go back necessarily, but I do miss everybody from Avenue Q very much. Obviously, I've spent a great deal of my life with them, and we're very close. So, anytime we have a chance to get together, we do. And we're going to kind of have a little mini reunion at Carnegie Hall, because the New York Pops are celebrating Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez. And so we're going to perform that night, and we're really looking forward to it.
When is that?
That's going to be at the end of April.
Oh, fantastic, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it'll be fun, to see everyone.
There's nothing like, now, have you performed at Carnegie Hall before?
I have.
Yeah.
I have, with the New York City Gay Men's Chorus. Because in my, early days in New York, I did a lot of shows with them. They needed a biological woman for one reason or another. And I would just show up and sing for them. And, it was really fun. And I'm an honorary member of the New York City Gay Men's Chorus. I'll have you know.
You are?
I am. I have a plaque that says so.
I like that. I have a plaque that says so.
I do.
We should have had you put it on the wall, the blue wall.
I know, right? I can go find it and bring it out, but I assure you it's
You know
real.
what's refreshing about your background? Most people these days, if you see their backgrounds, because, a lot of people, they're doing the online stuff now. The whole situation of the last 2 years has thrust a lot of people to have to do online things. And almost I say 8 to 9 out of 10 people have a bookshelf with all these books behind them, most of which they've never read, but they threw that up there just to have the bookshelf. So I like the authenticity of just straightforward. I've got a nice, beautiful, is it royal
Screen.
blue?
I've got a blue
A blue
screen
screen.
hiding all my husband's electrical equipment. That's what's happening
You're
here.
at his desk, right?
I'm at his desk. He's got a bunch of stuff hiding behind. You don't want to see it. It's really just a bunch of wires and ugh. So forget it.
But you're used to that, behind every curtain and every TV
Right.
studio stage, there's a lot of
Right.
interesting
Exactly. It's just
things.
like working on a set.
It's just like working on a set. Absolutely. Smash. Tell us about how Smash, Deborah Messing,
Oh,
incredible
what a
crew
dream
there.
job that was for me. I
Oh,
had such a great time, and uh, I was I auditioned for the part of Linda, the stage manager, and they told me if I got it, I would be on for 4 episodes, and I was like, "That's great," because usually I'm on for 1 episode of something. And I got Linda, and then I was on forever. Like they just kept bringing me back, but I was never a contracted player.
mm,
They called me literally like every week, like, "Are you free this week?" "Yes, I am." "Okay." You know what I mean? It was like, it was never like an assumed deal. It was just sort of like every week, "Are you free?" "Yes, I am." "Okay, show up." So it was the greatest gig I ever had. I loved it. And I
mm,
loved being able to watch all those brilliant performers up close. When they shoot these incredible dance numbers and, you know, they have to do it full out like 40
yeah.
times.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just
Yes.
like, okay, you go, kids. I'll just watch you. I'll just sit in the corner and pretend to look at my stopwatch. And it was so fun. It was
Mm.
amazing. And to have the chance to be there and like make small talk with Angelica Houston. I mean, this is never going to happen to me again. Come on, like, come on. So I was thrilled.
What do you say to an Angelica Houston? I
Well,
mean,
you
how
don't
do you,
say anything really important, but
you
but like it's lovely to kind of bond with somebody when
yes.
it's me and her sitting at a table looking at Bernadette Peters do her number,
Hmm.
and you're like, I am sitting next to Angelica Houston
Hmm.
watching Bernadette Peters. Like you just like the whole thing, just like your head kind of explodes a little bit.
It's an interesting thing, and I can relate because I've been in positions where, I'm chatting with somebody on television or what have you, and I've really, there's somebody that's just, they're in my wheelhouse. I really admire them, and I look, and there's that fine line of still being that professional who's tasked with interviewing or hosting or whatever it is, them, but yet you're also very excited and stoked inside to be on the same stage or set or whatever with them. And you have to have that balance of not drooling,
Right.
but wanting to express to them how much they mean to you or their work has. So there's that wonderful ballet, that dance between that and still doing what you are tasked to do. How do you, because you've worked with some fabulous people
I
as well,
have.
and you are one of those fabulous people. How have you navigated that ballet of not being the fan, but yet also being an equal, a contemporary, a colleague?
I don't know that I've really figured that out. I think it depends on who it is and what the context is. Like in Schmigadoon, I didn't really know everybody before we started that. I knew some people, and I knew everybody, of course, by reputation, and I had probably met everybody to shake hands with backstage. You know what I mean? But I wasn't close friends with anybody. Um, and sometimes I would like get a little overwhelmed because it was like, oh my God, Kristen Chenoweth is, like that kind of fangirly feeling, but I know her. She's a person. We've ridden the train together. And you go like, all right, calm down. Like, we're all in the same industry. We all know the same people. We've all done the same sort of thing. Maybe she's a lot better at it than I am, but still that doesn't mean you can't, you don't have to like get hysterical. So it's like that. I don't know. I think it would be harder for me if, well, that's not true. Everybody who's overwhelmed me in person, I've gotten over my fear and whatever of them.
Yeah.
The hardest part for me is just not to not gush.
Right. The gushing, the drooling sort, right.
Gushing, exactly. Yeah, that's the part that really I'm scared about because, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know you had said before you went live on the air that you were so excited to come on our show that you haven't had sleep for 3 nights in a row. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, you're going to sleep well tonight, I'm sure. I hope.
I'm sure. Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I've had Carol Burnett for me and Florence Henderson.
Please, I've met Carol Burnett, and
is she
was
not
so tongue tied? I'm not even sure what I said to her. But you can't.
Did you pull your ear?
I did not pull my ear. I did not pull my ear. But like people like that are just so huge in your mind.
Yes.
That when you meet them.
And did you find that she met everything you had hoped? When I had the opportunity to chat with her, I felt, and there's a list of a few people that I've had the opportunity to meet that I've always admired, and it was a professional situation, but yet she matched, if not exceeded, the warmth, the empathy, the humor, the being so affable and approachable in a way that I was like, wow, thank God, because that's the buildup I had, and she matched, if not exceeded it. Somebody else similar, Florence Henderson, who actually sat on my lap once.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I'm like,
so you dated, is what
I was going to say. We were at a function, a gala function that was actually in Fairfield County, Connecticut, and they had us all together, and there were photographers who were taking all these professional photos at this gala event, and she was in a white pantsuit, and they needed everybody to squeeze together more, and she plopped down on my right knee, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just reverted to an 11-year-old kid, pork chops and applesauce.
Right.
My arms are holding up Mrs. Brady, Carol Brady.
Carol Brady, yeah. No, of course.
She was fabulous. And of course, we miss her dearly, but warm, funny, a little saucy, wrote back to every single person that wrote to her, she told me. Just a beautiful person.
No,
beautiful person.
She's a star from the old school, and Carol Burnett is like that too. And I feel like back then people really knew how to behave. That's all. In a way that like the fans would appreciate. And they cared about what the fans thought. The most embarrassing thing I've ever done is at Avenue Q one time, Dame Judi Dench came backstage to talk to us. She had just seen the show. Dame Judi Dench. And when I was introduced to her and shook her hand, I started crying hysterically. I literally could not even get out, "It's so nice to meet you." It was literally like, just bawling really hard. And until that moment in time, I didn't even know how much I liked Dame Judi Dench. I was just so overwhelmed. It was like meeting the queen, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, what's happening to me? Yeah. I really have not gotten over that. I am so embarrassed that happened.
Do you need a moment right now?
Yeah, that I wasn't able to come up with a sentence. You know what I mean? Nothing.
But do you need a moment? Do you need to pause? Are you having a moment right now?
Because I practiced with her and I'm cool with you now. So
So good. Okay. Because if you need a moment, we can, I can
Take
vamp
it. No,
if
I
you,
know.
if you need
It's
a
true. I
Kleenex or anything.
understand. Yeah, no, good.
Is there anybody there's a few people on there is on my list. Don't know if it'll happen. It came very, very close. It was for a PBS special, and a friend of mine had a PBS special, and I was this close to being sent out to Los Angeles to the home of Dick Van Dyke to interview him on the couch in his home. But something happened because it was around the time of his 90th birthday, and he got pulled away because Disneyland wanted him because they were doing a whole Dick Van Dyke celebration. So he's somebody that is, and
Of
he's,
course.
he's somebody that, but for you, anybody that you would love to come across, or anybody that's no longer with us that you wish you had an opportunity in any of these fields to come across, even if it was just for 5 minutes in an elevator.
Judy Garland.
That's
she's the greatest. She's the greatest in my mind.
Judy
And
Garland. Yeah.
I did get to meet Liza, and I actually got to work with Liza, sort of. I was hired to be, get this, Liza's stand-in when they tacked her show Manelli on Manelli at the Palace Theater, which was a show that she did about her father, obviously. And it turned out that they needed me to hold her costumes in front of me and light me so that Liza would not have to stand there under the hot lights for hours wearing these beaded costumes, right? So this was my job, and I did it, and I was excited to do it. And they had Liza in the audience looking at the lighting. And then after a while, things got really bizarre, and they were like, Anne, why don't you just do her numbers? Why don't you just hit her marks during her numbers so that we can light all of these specific moments in time? All right. Well, I'd seen the show several times that week, and I kind of knew where to stand. And I was like, all right, this number, she's on 4. And then she moves to 8. And they were like, just sort of do the number. Now we're getting like crazy, because it's not like anyone's ever taught me the number. But I'm out there going like, she does this and she goes like this. And, I'm like dancing. And they have 2 of her dancers come in and sort of do the dance around me. And I'm like, this is insane. As the week goes on, I end up doing almost the whole show for her show in front of her, to the point where I had to sing. She had this clip of Meet Me in St. Louis playing behind her while she sang Clang, Clang, Clang with the trolley with Judy. They, at the same time, she's singing it and her mother's singing it. And I'm standing on the stage of the Palace singing Clang, Clang, Clang with the trolley with Judy for Liza. At which point I was like, this is the gayest moment of my life, and I'm so happy. Because who would ever believe that? No one. It's insane.
When you have the opportunity for it to be with and for, that's incredible, huh?
Right? I mean, okay. But think about that. How weird would you feel singing Clang, Clang, Clang with the trolley in front of Liza Minnelli?
Yes. Yeah.
With Judy in the background, and you've been watching Judy your whole life. You know what she does.
Yes.
So you're doing it.
Yes.
You're an idiot, and you're like, I'm doing Judy and Clang, Clang, Clang with the trolley. But you're doing it for Liza. Just like, woo, my head, just crazy.
So on your top moments in career,
top moments in history, list, that's like right up there, man. That is it. Yeah.
That's
pretty big, I think.
Tough one to top.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
I know being here with us this evening is on that list
as
well,
that's a totally
Judy
different thing.
and Liza, I mean,
come on.
That's
come on now.
That's and Carol and Florence and all these names.
Yes, I've sung for Carol. Again, I've sung Carol's material in front of Carol. I guess this is my whole MO. I guess this is all I do in my life. But I did a show called, my friend Christine Toy Johnson and I did a show, basically Julie and Carol at Carnegie Hall, their famous TV show.
Yes.
We recreated that.
Julie Andrews and Carol Burnett. Yeah.
Right. And we pretended that we were their understudies. And so we had to go on. And so we did that entire show.
Wow. What was that like?
Crazy. Carol comes to see this. We're like in a cabaret space, on 72nd Street. And Carol comes to see this. And I'm doing her material. Like, what's happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just nuts, just crazy.
And she came to see it, and
she was very complimentary. She couldn't have been sweeter, and I was just like ready to go back and fall down. I did not know how to behave. I was so overwhelmed.
Now, did you know in advance that she was coming, or did you not learn until after?
I did know in advance, because how could you not know? It's such a small room. Yeah. It would have been much worse if I had just seen her and go like, oh, you know what I mean? Can you imagine like on stage going like, oh, hi, Carol Burnett? Like, honestly, no.
Hi, Carol. I'm Ann. What did you think of what I just did?
You did. That's a really long time ago. Hi.
Start the car.
Yeah, right. No, I know. Just
but actually she is somebody that probably, I would imagine, would have stopped and told you, that she found it enjoyable and really encouraged.
She did. She couldn't have been lovelier, really.
Right.
She was so sweet and she so complimentary, and the whole time I just wanted to like cry hysterically like I did when I met Dame Judi Dench. Luckily I did not cry hysterically, but I was close.
You were close.
I was close. It was touch and go there.
Look at this. Bang.
Oh hey girl.
Tell us about that for the audience watching, our global audience, saying, oh, I love that. What's that? And they're all the lovelies are commenting. They're having a ball with this conversation. They're saying hello to you, and everybody's happy that you're here. Aww. And even Ann in Southern California says, this is too funny. I have to hold back from all the comments for Ann. What an experience with Liza. Pinch me moment, right? Cool stuff. Zen love.
Aww.
Wow. Cool stuff.
This is from Cinderella.
Yes.
On Broadway, where I played one of her stepsisters, Charlotte. And this is at the end of the song Stepsister's Lament that I got to perform with all the ladies who were at the ball with me right there. And we were bemoaning the fact that Prince Topher was not interested in us. He was only interested in that Cinderella girl, but he didn't know her name. That girl in the pretty dress,
Right.
And so it's basically a song about like I'm so much better than her. Why won't he pay attention to me? And so, of course, it's completely ridiculous. Song, but we had a blast doing it.
So what was it? How long did it take, to get into the costuming and to?
You have a dresser who's very experienced. That wasn't too hard. It's a corset and bloomers, it's a whole thing.
Yes.
Because it's a big dress and it's got a petticoat and whatever, but it's all fine. Everybody, you get used to that. You get used to it.
But what was it like, being on Broadway in that production for you? I mean, another pinch me moment.
Yeah, totally. Because, Rosalind Hammerstein, for whatever reason, Cinderella, because it had been a TV production and not a stage production up until then. There had been stage productions of Cinderella using the score, but there had not been a Broadway production of Cinderella. And this was the first time. And Douglas Carter Beane had written a new book where basically he knew us as actors so well that he basically wrote the material tailored to what we did the best. And so, we just had a blast together. that was a really great company, and we loved doing that show. And it was such a beautiful show. I mean, you can sort of just, even from that one picture, how astonishing like the production values were. So beautiful. Um, and we just had a blast. We just had
Yeah.
such a good time. And what a thrill to be able to say, I originated a role in a Rodgers and Hammerstein show on Broadway. Yeah. Hello, 2012. Okay,
Yeah.
they were both very dead, but still.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to go into stand-up comedy? Darn it.
I don't. Please don't make me.
Yeah, I said, please don't make me.
Oh, I love this question. Can I answer this question? Or it's a comment
Absolutely.
or
Yeah, you
something.
can
Here's a
see the
comment from
comments.
Dana Ricker. Anne,
I was watching from Canada. Yeah.
have you experienced fans gushing over you, and how did you deal with it? Dana, fans don't gush over me. They tell me things like, you seem so much taller on stage. These are the comments I get. They do sometimes say, this is the part I really love. I saw you in Avenue Q when I was 12, and you were so great. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they seem like adults to me. Um, I guess that was a long time ago.
There was just 10 minutes ago
Yeah.
to you, wasn't it? It's like,
And I was just like, thanks. Oh,
Thanks.
you're my hero because I grew up watching you. I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, you're
The way-
thrilled, but it's also kind of a mixed
Thanks.
bag. Like,
it's not like thanks. It's like
Like,
thanks.
thanks,
I appreciate that.
old-looking person.
What do we have here?
Okay, I know what this is. This
Yeah.
is because it was like a one-night-only concert. But I was at an Aspen Theater Festival, did a concert of South Pacific, and that's me playing Bloody Mary. Woohoo!
From Christmas Eve to Bloody Mary, she
Yep.
does it all.
I do. Oh, brother.
Have you ever done Bloody Mary on Christmas Eve?
No, but I have played Bloody Mary like 3 times.
That's amazing. Now look at
this. This is Josh Grizzetti.
Yes, and he was a guest on our show, and he is amazing, isn't he?
Oh, God, I loved him. Anyway, here we are at the Muni in Matilda. We played the Wormwoods, Matilda's terrible parents.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Oh,
You enjoyed that, huh?
loved it. Loved it. Are you kidding me?
Look what we dug up here.
Oh, look at that. That's Squiggs's cartoon of Emoji Land, of the cast of Emoji Land. And that was the show I was in when the pandemic happened.
So, yeah, when that happened, the world sort of came to a big halt. Everything came to a halt. What were you doing? Was this what you were doing when it came to good. See, I love
where?
that.
What happened
It's
to
like
us?
peekaboo.
Yeah, this is what I was doing when the world.
See, you're a professional. You knew to lean left. Only a professional knows to lean left.
Yeah, this is what was happening when the world closed. They said, just leave all your stuff in the dressing room. We'll probably be back next week. So that's what happened. And then that's what happened. And then I never saw any of those people again. No, I have, but
I never saw them again.
Not in costume.
Caricatures to me now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very sad because we had a really good time with that show. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is me. I'm guessing at the American Songbook in Lincoln Center doing my cabaret show.
Tell us about that. People might not know that aspect of your work.
Well, okay. So the American Songbook series at Lincoln Center, they let people do a show of their own and in a very glamorous space. And I got to do this in 2014. And it was, a big thrill to be asked to perform there. And very overwhelming, as you know, because I'm so intimidated by doing something by myself. So I had my Avenue Q band came with me and was my band. And I had a friend, Kevin Pariseau, who's he's actually in the national tour of My Fair Lady right now, playing Pickering, and he was like my special guest, so that I would have somebody else to talk to and sing with, because I don't like to do things by myself.
You're communal. You're a team player. You like
I
to.
just don't like. Oh
Yeah.
God, I have to move over here. I just.
Does your chair have wheels on it?
Yeah,
Does
my
it
chair
swivel?
does have wheels on it, but I still feel like, oh, okay, this is better. So, um, yeah, no, I did this, but I was very scared. It was very overwhelming to me to have to try to put on a show for the American Songbook, but I was thrilled to do it. I loved it.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah, I tell you, huh? So do you like to sing all different styles?
I do. I like to sing all different styles, but I'm very drawn towards kind of like the classics.
Yeah. That's cool. That's
I
great.
could have done a whole show just, like Rodgers and Hart or Cole Porter or, whatever, but I try to mix it up. One thing about the American Songbook is I felt very strongly every song had to be written by an American composer.
Yeah. For it to be the American Songbook.
Exactly. So, yeah. But it was fun. It's great.
Tell us about
Linda
this.
from Smash. This is a close-up from the infamous Bollywood episode of Smash, where for some reason we were all in a big Bollywood dance number. I have no idea why I was doing that. I don't know. I just showed up to work.
See, you're versatile. They can have you in all these different roles.
Oh,
and
I
you just
know.
nail it.
But I was just like, what's happening? Like that whole day was such a great, amazing day. We were on location at this synagogue that they converted into this gorgeous space, like you do. And
Sure.
it was really, really beautiful to watch everybody dance all day, and then to have like a little, like for them to put me in a costume like that and do a little something. It was a great day.
A very mischievous look.
Well, Linda.
Yes.
You know what a stage manager's like. They know everything.
Yes. The stories they could tell.
That's right.
Now, I mentioned, of course, talking Smash, but 30 Rock, House of Cards, The Good Wife, The Jim Gaffigan Show, Master of None. Tell us about some of that. I mean, how did the television, I'm a TV person and radio person myself, working in the industry. So how did the TV stuff start to come your way?
Oh, it doesn't come your way. You audition. You go in and you audition, and you hope you're good, and like there's something about you that they're like, okay, you know what I mean? It's not.
So it's something that you actively pursued. You wanted to step into the world of
yeah,
television?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, television, it's great. It's been great for me during the pandemic, God knows. Because honestly, Jim, it's better health insurance for my family than working on stage. And my job in this family is to get health insurance. So I'm serious. So in our world, one line on a TV show is better than
a few dollars.
Yeah, like it's just, yes, because you will get paid better for that one day of work than you would for doing, let's say, a week in a stage production.
Now I know all of that. A lot of people are very, very surprised because, people on stage work their hearts out, matinees, evening performances, bang, 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 bang. And if the thing takes off, Phantom of the Opera, it could last for years and years and years, which is a beautiful thing. But, there are sacrifices of family and surfing in Hawaii and, other kinds of things that you have to sort of, level out. It's amazing that the compensation isn't necessarily the same, though the output is extraordinary in theater, huh?
Yes. It's much more grueling than any other part of the profession, I think, is the 8 show a week kind of grind of it. Not that it's bad, because that's what we train for and we kind of like it, and we feel kind of like we're Olympic athletes. You have to have to build the stamina, and you're you're crafting a performance that you can do 8 times a week, basically. And it's wonderful to do it. It's like a rush to perform live for people. That's the ultimate for me. And I think most stage performers feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will tell you right now, the TV union's insurance is better than the stage union's insurance. So if I can qualify in TV, I do that, because otherwise I end up having to pay so much more money to cover my family.
To cover your family, right? Exactly. Yeah. So are there TV projects that are coming up that you're in the running for?
Oh, that's such a good question. Who knows? You just submit a self-tape these days and throw it out into the world, and you've
You
no
like the
idea.
self-taping?
Yes and no. I like the idea that I don't have to get dressed up and go out and do the audition. I can just dress up and stay in and do the audition. But I feel like I never feel like I'm that great at it. Again,
you gotta do the lighting. You gotta do all the
that's it.
production
I'm not
part.
good at all the other parts of it. And my husband is not a good reader.
Oh, he's not. Yeah.
But that's who I have.
But that's who you have.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't ever get mad at him, do you?
No, I never get mad at him.
Good. Yeah.
But literally, I have friends who are so good at it that they like literally send me multiple takes, right, of a scene and say, which one do you like the best? And I've never had more than one take, because it was like, that's the only one we didn't mess up. You know what I mean? And by the time we finished that one, it was like, I'm exhausted. Let's just send this one.
Let's just send this. Stop it.
This one's fine.
It's 3:30 in the morning. We've been at
let's
this
just
since
submit
noon.
this one. Yeah.
We've changed the outfits. We've changed the lighting. I
The
styled my
idea
hair
of having
differently.
multiple decent takes is just beyond me. There's no way. I've won. And this is what you're getting.
Right. And there is, because I've heard mixed, from various people who've come on as guests, and I've done self-tapes too for things. And if you're a people person and you like that banter or that play with the other performers as you're waiting to go in the room, or when you do have the casting people there in front of you, sometimes they'll give you the guidance right on the spot. Can you read it a little slower? Can you, articulate this a little bit differently? We'll run it again, but do this a little bit. And when you do the self-tapes, you throw it up in the air and see where it lands.
Yeah, it's like, this is what I think it's supposed to be, but you don't know. You're just putting it out there and go like, this would be my best guess at what this scene is supposed to convey. But you don't really know because you're not getting any direction. So.
Right, exactly. And I guess that could be frustrating sometimes. But then again, if you're having a day where, it's snowing out.
Right. It's so much easier. And you can, and this is the best thing for them too, because you can submit from any place. Right?
Yes.
People don't have to be like, I have to be in Midtown by 12:30. Everybody's got an even playing field because you can submit from anywhere in the world.
Now, does that make the competition stiffer because they can take more people in for the role, where before, if you couldn't get to Manhattan to get to that casting office, the chances are
you're out of it. Right.
Yeah.
Correct. But I don't care about that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's such a different thing. And I just don't know if we're ever going to go back to in-person.
That's what people have said, right?
Because it's more efficient for them. They can whack through a bunch of people's auditions, and they haven't had to schedule the time and the guy to run the camera and all that.
Well, we were going to come in the Jim Masters show live. We were going to do this at your house there in your husband's office.
Yeah, well,
but you said maybe let's do it this way because you had some laundry on the floor that you didn't feel like picking up.
Yes. Oh boy, that's the least of the stuff that I have on the floor. You would not. I am not a good housekeeper. I am not a good cook. I'm not domestic, really at all. So
really,
honestly, this is the way, Jim.
Yeah,
this is the way.
So you take out a lot. Reservations.
I like takeout a lot. I wouldn't say I do it that much, but I like it.
Do you people eat in that house? Oh, do you have people on the other side of the blue wall that are starving right now, banging on
No,
the
no, no.
wall?
That
Let's
happened.
eat.
They're all eating on their own. I ate before.
Oh, good. It's always good to eat before.
Yeah, just because you don't know when you're going to be done. Hi, fairy cakes.
I love the way you greet the characters
Well,
as if they are
it's just
third
because
person.
you haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
these
cool.
people in a while. This was a play called Fairy Cakes I did off Broadway. I guess this was the fall winter.
Yeah,
Yes, and I played Mustard Seed. That's my character, Mustard Seed.
that is cool, huh?
I know it's a beautiful costume. We have beautiful costumes.
Yeah, you get a chance to wear some really cool, unique designs. One of my friends is a costume designer for a lot of the Broadway shows, actually, Dustin Cross. I don't know if you've ever worked with
I
him,
don't
but
think I've ever worked with him.
he's really amazing. Now look at this one.
Oh, that's Charlotte again. That's Cinderella. Um, I love my wig. See, she's cute. She's so cute.
Isn't she?
Well, she isn't really. She's a terrible person, but she's very cute. This hair.
She has it's very deceiving. So what were you doing there? Signing
Signing an opening night greeting for
Charlotte.
Lucky Guy, it looks like. This is a thing that Broadway shows do. They'll sign a little card so that all the other shows get them. And then like for opening night, it's like, here's the cast of every show wishing you all the best. It's just a nice Broadway thing.
Isn't it great? Yeah, absolutely. And there we go. This is another great one.
Avenue Q, yes.
Did you ever, with Avenue Q, did it ever feel like a little bit, well, a different way, I guess, Sesame Street, sort of just having the puppets all around, and it's really a cool thing,
Okay, well, the whole point of it is that it was a parody of children's television.
Yes.
So, of course, it was
That's
meant to feel like
exactly.
Sesame Street.
That's right.
It was not Sesame Street, nor were we ever
No.
allowed to
No.
think of the characters as being from Sesame
Mr. Hooper's store was not there.
was not there. But I'm very close to a lot of the people on Sesame Street because
Yes.
my best friend plays Alan, the storekeeper. He
Oh, really?
took over from Mr. Hooper.
Do you remember the episode when Mr. Hooper died?
Of course,
That was one of the first time. My affiliation with public
course.
television is years, and I still have a beautiful matter of
That
fact.
was a huge deal.
I'll be at PBS tomorrow, actually filming. That was one of the first times I think that children's television ever tackled death.
Right.
And even though Mr. Hooper was a character, it's still the actor and the character in real life passed away, and the way they treated it was so well done. And all of the different scenarios in life that they've tackled and continue to tackle on Sesame Street.
Well, that's
is
it.
so
I sort of feel
fantastic.
like Sesame Street is basically if all kind of like the problems and terrible things that happened in our world could be explained like they explain it on Sesame Street, we'd all a lot better off. They do it so
Yes.
compassionately and so thoughtfully,
Yeah.
and with such grace.
Yeah.
I have
Fred
I
Rogers was
I
another one too.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
they're really unbelievably great at taking care of America's children, and as a mother, I very much appreciated all of that when my kid was that age. And just, I'm so proud of everybody on that show. They work so hard and they're so dedicated to this ideal world, and it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful place to be, is Sesame Street, and I'm
Yep.
all for it.
Remember Electric Company?
Oh, of course, I remember Electric Company. I was on the remake.
You were on the remake.
I was a guest. I was a guest star. I played a author or something.
Whoa, that's cool.
I sang a song. I don't know, man. But it was a long time ago.
What about? Maybe this is a clue. Boston, Mass. 02134.
Zoom.
Gonna zoom. Yes. See, now everybody talks about Zoom and they're talking about technology and all of that.
Right. But we
And,
know what it really is.
but
Ubby-dubby.
yeah. Did you ever have a pen pal? I
I
did.
never had a pen pal. No,
Yes. There was
never
a
had a pen
show, I
pal.
think it was called Big Blue Marble. I don't know if you remember that
I
one.
remember that.
Yeah.
The world's a big blue marble
Marble.
when you see it from out there. Yeah.
And at the end, they would say, have a pen pal, write for a pen pal and everything. So I did. And I ended up for, I think it's about 7, 8 years. This girl, I was a kid, this girl from Montmorency, France. And I wrote back for the longest time. I actually still have the letters in a box, hidden away somewhere, but
And she was fluent in English?
she was fluent in English and she wanted me to come over to France, but I was like 12. I'm like, all I have is the money from my paper route, and that's not going to buy the ticket.
Not going to get me to France. But
But
that's
it
really
was
sweet. That's awesome.
that was cool. Now everything you could do online, but back then you actually put it in the mailbox and it went
Wasn't
from
it more
there.
fun like that?
Oh, yes, I love that shot just looking at that again. But I think of all the shots we dug up, I mean, these are all absolutely fantastic. But I think the topper of all of them, drum roll please, was the orchestra. I heard the
Too
whole world
sweet.
just say that collectively, all of our levities. What
Too
would
sweet.
Anne of now say to Anne of then?
The world is so much wider than you'll ever know. Basically, whatever dream you have, dream bigger.
Yes.
Because there are no limits, basically. And that's what I would tell her. Because look at her. She's so sweet.
See, yes, like you have and your head is tilting. It's on the opposite side, but it's
I
still, you're
know.
tilting it now like you did that. Now there she is. She looks exactly the same. Well, the teeth may be a little different, but how old were you there?
I'm gonna guess 7.
Oh my God. So that was
I
only
think
20 years
7.
ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all.
Fantastic. But no, you have a certain twinkle in the eye there that says, you want to take a bite out of life, and you're just like happy-go-lucky, and just a happy spirit, and Anne still is, right?
Well, I don't know if I'm that girl anymore, but I do
There's still
feel
bills to pay and everything, right?
yeah, I do feel like the world is an amazing place, and that already my life has had so many things that I couldn't ever imagine happening, that I just have no reason to believe that wouldn't still be true tomorrow. I want to keep going because I want to see what life is going to give me in the future, because it's all been so great so far. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the new and what's coming down the road.
What are some things you have coming down the
Well,
road
funny
that
you
you're
should ask.
excited about?
I'm going to be doing Into the Woods at Encores here in New York in May.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm excited about that. I'll be playing Jack's mother. And I don't know if I'm at liberty to say some of the other things.
Do they fall into the theater or the TV world?
One falls into the TV category.
Ooh.
And something
comedy, drama, thriller, Hallmark channel.
Comedy.
Comedy. Well, of course.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I'm sorry.
You're dying to, I know.
I am dying to. But yeah.
But it's in production and it
hasn't really started production yet, but I have not signed the paper, Jim.
Well, you cannot until you sign those papers. Gotta dot all those I's and cross all those T's.
That's right.
Proofread it.
Oh, here's the thing, Dana. Have you done any voiceover animated things? Funny you should ask. I have. I play Rose the park worker on a PBS show called Alma's Way.
That's you?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
And I'm going to be in a Netflix thing. For a Marvel, like
I like the way you say that, in a Netflix thing.
And a Netflix thing.
That
It's a Marvel. It's a Marvel show. I think it's a Netflix thing. Question mark. It's for a Marvel themed show called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I did that. This hasn't come out yet, obviously, because I'm obviously so up on all this stuff that I do. But it's true. I did it, so I'm assuming it's going to come out at some point.
Start the car or get on the train and say, "Where are we headed today?
Where are we going? What is my job?
Tell me what time I got to be there."
That's right. That's
we'll
really
make it happen.
Right.
That's exciting. There's several, but
and this Netflix thing? Question mark called Blue Eye Samurai. I have a big part in that, but it's a really adult themed, depressing little show. So don't let your kids watch it.
Are you able to say the role that you're in?
Yeah, I play the mother of the samurai.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, that's all you need to know because it is rough material.
When do they expect that out?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's
coming.
Check your local
some
listings.
Point in my life, I hope.
Check your local listings. That's cool. What I love about it, Anne, is the variety. I mean,
oh yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't know. The phone could ring tomorrow and it could be Dame Judi Dench. Who knows?
And you can end up doing a Crest commercial. Have you done commercials?
I have.
Which ones? Anything we know that they would recommend?
Well, I did a really cool one. I went to Prague for a week with Wes Anderson. No lie. He shot a bunch of commercials for AT&T and we shot them all in this week. And we were basically each other's background. Do you know what I mean? Like each person had like one spot where they did all the talking and other people were in the background. And so then we were all each other's background players in Prague for a week. We shot like 6 of these. Crazy, but so fun.
Wow. So what was, why Prague? What was it that they needed Prague for as far as the background?
Could not tell you. I have no idea. It all seemed to be, we shot that all on sound stages.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just because of, I don't know, union rules or lack of union rules or
cost
proximity
of
to like the costume person. You know, he brought in his costume person that's won all the Oscars. You know what I mean? It was like fancy. It was fancy.
Yeah.
My costume wasn't fancy.
The costume wasn't fancy.
No.
What are some others that you've done?
I've done mostly things for communications, you know, like Sprint. And basically it's all telephone ads want me. No other things want me. To promote them. That's fine.
I know the guy who used to do the Can You Hear Me Now Verizon commercial.
Oh, wow.
And he did that. I think that ran for about 11 years. And then when they sort of reconfigured things and stopped using him for that, and he's an actor, of course, and a producer. He's done independent short films and all kinds of things. And he was on Reel 13 on Channel 13 in New York. And what was really cool, which rarely happens, Sprint, I think, brought him in to sort of play off what he did for Verizon. And now I think he says, "Can you still hear me now?" Kind of cool, huh? That's rare when you have a character sort of semi come back.
Yeah, for another company.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's great.
What role have you played that you did not want to do but turned out epic?
I can't even think of a role I've played that I did not want to do.
Or was there anyone you were very nervous about that you were, and then it just turned out to be terrific?
I mean, I'm nervous about all of them.
Yeah. You
I
get the
can't.
butterflies in the stomach?
Yeah, of
But
course,
that's a good thing. That means you're still passionate about it and you care. They always say, and I still get it too. If it's a project or something in life where you really care about it, those butterflies keep you in check and it's that passion. When you don't have those butterflies anymore, it might be time to move on to something else because that passion just might not be there. The enthusiasm for that might not be what it once was. So you might want to start going into other areas. But if you still have those butterflies, it means you really care about it.
Right. I'm sure you're right because I have those butterflies for everything.
Have you thought of teaching? Have you ever thought of
Oh, I'm
teaching
bad.
others?
I'm bad at that. I've tried. It's not really my thing.
Do you have patience?
Uh,
I think that might answer
yeah,
that.
probably not really
Next.
so much. Yeah, no.
No, probably, yeah, not really
Really
so
so much.
much.
No.
That check.
I've tried to direct and I'm really bad at that. Because I
You sit down. We got to get this done in 10 minutes.
well, no, it's not that. It's that I'm really bad at spatial relationships. Like to me, it's like if 5 people are on a stage, I'll just put them in a line or put them on a couch. I don't really know where to put the bodies. You know what I mean? I don't have a good sense of that. What I am good at is like watching a scene and telling you how to fix it. I understand that part of it, but I'm not good at. And now it will be visually interesting if you're over there and that guy's sitting over there. No clue.
That sounded a little Margaret Thatcher.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice. Can you do other languages and a variety of accents?
I can do accents. Do you really want me to haul out my accents?
I didn't say that. However, I know the Lovedies would. I didn't say that, but I know the Lovedies probably
Do
will.
you think the Levities would like it? No.
Oh, yes. Now we're taking you to Ireland.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
we are, because that's what I was all summer. Let's see. I don't know. I was a Scottish mermaid in that play I did off Broadway. But yeah, no, I can do them. I just whatever. Nobody cares. You know what I'm not good at is Japanese, which is what I am. I
I was going to ask that, and I
I have a
said,
very bad Japanese accent, even because I even took that as my foreign language in high school, and my teacher was like, "You have the worst accent I have ever heard," and my father was like, "You're terrible," and I was like, "I know. What can I do?"
and was the teacher German?
No, she was Japanese, and after the end of that, I should have just taken Spanish. I
Yeah.
really wanted to, and I should have just taken it because that would have been useful in my life in New York. But
Yes.
I didn't know then that that's what was going to
Yes.
happen to me.
Yes. I took it in college, and I don't remember what I remembered back in college. And I want to, and I'm working on doing that because I'd love to be a bilingual, host in my professional work. I think it just behooves you to do that. And so, that'd be a cool thing. Did you take a language in school as well?
No,
Yeah. If
after
you did, because I remember the big ones were always you either did Spanish or French. Some tried Italian as well, but it was either Spanish or French. Uh,
either one of them would have been more helpful than my non-existent Japanese.
if you weren't doing what you're doing now, I'm not talking about being on the Jim Master Show, of course. That I
Yeah,
know you're loving
that's a
it.
limited run.
You're a lovety. You're a lovety. Oh no, we keep the porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime, my friend. Absolutely. But what would be that other thing that you might have done or doesn't mean you still couldn't do? What else would you do if it wasn't, in the arts and entertainment and this world you're in now?
I would have been a librarian. That's it. I
I
would have
like
been a librarian because
I love that.
that was my part-time college job. And that was back in the days when, I had to like type the cards that go into the little pocket in the book already. People are like, what is she talking about?
So you have a real thirst for microfilm and microfiche.
I loved using those at my public library back in the day, back in high
Yes,
school.
microfiche. Yeah, we used a
Yeah.
lot of that in
I
college.
mean, when I think of like how like now I'm like, well, how did we ever get anything done, Jim? How did we ever research
Took
papers?
hours
Hours.
to sift
Everything
through
took
all of that stuff.
forever.
Yes, hours.
And nowadays it's like my kid just goes on the internet and it's, zip zap. And I'm
Yes.
just like, oh, you have no idea what this was like in the past, like going to the library and trying to figure it out. But
Nowadays, I mean, for some, I remember never really happened to us, but because we ate everything on the plate, but it used to be a thing where if you didn't eat everything that was on your plate, there was a chance of being sent to your room and all that kind of thing. It never really happened in our household, but I know some. But and the kid didn't want to be sent to their room, or you don't get dessert or whatever if you don't eat all the vegetables. The kid didn't want to be sent to their room because the room was
was boring. There was
barren,
nothing there.
a bed, a hamper, and now they want to be sent to the room because it's like NASA. They have everything in there. Please,
Right.
I'm not eating the vegetables, and please send me to the room.
Right. Exactly. Oh, it feels sometimes like my kid never left the room, especially during the pandemic, when school was all remote and, just
What is do you see your child going into the arts? What's
that's such a good question. It's unclear at this point. He could go a lot of different directions.
what's
He's
tickling his
interested
fancy
in
now?
communications
Yeah,
right now. He really loves YouTube. He
sure.
has his own channel, all that kind of
So he
stuff.
likes digital
Yeah,
media.
very
Yeah,
much so, digital media. I think that's it's going to end up being something like that.
yeah. That's
Um,
cool, huh?
yeah, it's totally cool. It's great.
Probably teaches you a few things too, right? About different aspects of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, he knows just way more than I do about all kinds of things.
Did he help you get organized tonight?
No,
Get
because he
into
does
the
not care about what I do. Does not care at all. No. I hate to like burst your bubble, Jim,
No, I just love
but
the way
like
you
my
delivered
life is
that. Just
still
the
like,
way you like
no, no interest.
you're just so the humor is just so spot on and dry. It's just so like
Oh,
God.
here's the question. How old is her son? 17. So you can just imagine the
Inside the
non-interest.
song. Welcome inside the song. They're watching from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh,
Yes.
Nashville.
Yeah, we've got a global audience watch. We've got viewers watching from Kansas and North Carolina and Sweden and Asia and Australia and Ireland and Newark.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Um, before everything happened 2 years ago, did you get a chance to travel a lot at all? And would you like to travel?
Yes, I would like to travel. I like to travel a lot more than I've been traveling. And I've been traveling a lot. Remember I said like all my jobs have happened during the pandemic. So, yeah. Uh I'd like to I'd like to go to the Scandinavian countries. I've never been to any of those.
Ooh.
Um
Jane in Sweden watching would love for you to do that.
yes, well, I would
There she,
love to
there
visit
she,
her for heaven's sakes.
she's in Sweden, Jane. Thank you, Ann, for being here tonight. This was really fun. And thanks, Jim. That's love from Sweden.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I'd love to, of course, I'd love to go a lot of places.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just sort of like, when can you go? What are the restrictions?
Yes.
You
Keeps changing, right? It keeps
yeah.
changing. I know. Yeah, it keeps changing. Why do you love this so much? Why does this continue to bring you? I mean, you've brought such blessing and joy and entertainment to everybody else. And yeah, the money is the money, but that's not necessarily why you do what you do, because there's a
No
lot
one
of
has
blood, sweat, and
ever
tears.
gone into show business for the money.
Any of these things that we do, there's a lot that goes on beforehand to make it all look so smooth and easy and carefree and effortless. And you've put the time in, you've worn all these different hats, you've had an opportunity to have a lot of things that you've worked for, that you've wanted, things come your way as a result, a mix of it all, and be able to take it on no matter what they throw at you. You seem to be somebody who can take it on and make it work. What are some of those continued, I mean, of course, your husband, your son, blessings and joys in your life that propel you to keep going forward and sticking with it and doing what you do so well, Anne?
I just feel like that's what I this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel really strongly that um, if you are a performer and you've been given the opportunity to do that, you should do it. First of all, because it's what your calling is. And second of all, because we have a lot to offer the world. When the pandemic happened, I really believe that people relied on entertainment more heavily than they have ever in the history of the world because people were so desperate to get out of their own heads. Remember when all people talked about was like, what's on Netflix, what's on
Yes.
HBO Boop, whatever it was. And all of these series, and people just talked about, like, I saw this thing. People were relying very heavily on entertainment, and it was vital to their lives. Not just like, I enjoy it. It was
No, they
every
really,
day I have to see something interesting. You know what I mean? Because they
yes.
had to like get out of their
The
head and
balance, the
right,
reality of what was happening
what's
outside.
happening. So
Yeah.
obviously what we do is really important. And I don't know that I ever really thought about it like that before.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to be part of this industry, um, because not only of that kind of whatever, what the kind of comfort that it provides to everyone, but also because, you know, we're lucky. Not everybody gets to do what we do. It's like, what are the odds? I was reading someplace that, like, being in a Broadway show is like being in the major leagues.
It is.
Like, it's that amount, it's like that small percentage of people, right? So like it's very tiny percentage of anybody who's ever like acted at all gets to be on Broadway. And a
Yes.
very small percentage of anybody who's ever picked up a bat gets to be in the major leagues, right?
Absolutely.
So you think of it like that and you go like, this is a privilege that what we get to do, and we get to do it with other people who are also brilliant and at the top of their game. To be
Mhm.
able to work with the very best in the business is a privilege, and I think about that all the time because especially like on Smash or whatever, when all the people around you are like Broadway ensemble members and they're not really noticed in a lot of ways. But when you're watching them dance over and over again and you realize the depth of their talent and how, devoted they are to this craft, and how you just go like, and that's every single person.
Yes.
And you don't even know them, but that doesn't mean that they don't have just as much talent, if not more, than the ones you have heard of, right?
Right.
So you're like, look at the depth, of people's abilities, and that they're willing to like work this hard and give so much of themselves for this greater art that we're trying to do, that we're trying to keep alive, live stage performances. And it's to me, this is beautiful. This is a calling, and I really feel strongly about it.
That's beautifully said. I mean, straight from the heart. It really, really is. The family back home in Hawaii who knew that you packed that bag and went to the mainland and, went to school at Brown in Providence, Rhode Island, and went straight into a very fast paced world of the Big Apple, and you sort of laid down your tracks. I would imagine very proud, very happy for you.
Oh, I think they are. I think they are. It's such a foreign world to most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I get it because it's weird. Like the whole conceit of it is very weird.
Did
It's
they
not.
have a plan for you? Did they think, well, we want you to be a doctor
Oh, my
or,
mother thought I should be a lawyer because I
lawyer?
like to talk. And I tried to break it to her that that wasn't number one part of being a lawyer, but she wasn't listening. The point is that she's happy now.
She's happy.
She's good with
Yeah.
it now. Um, and if she isn't, she's doing a really good job of hiding it.
She's a wonderful actress. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm very lucky. I have a huge family in Hawaii and
You
they've been very
do.
supportive and, I love that. I love that they
Mm.
care when I'm on Blue Bloods or something. You know what I mean?
Now, that is one of the best, well-written, well-shot, fantastically cast. What is it like being on Blue Bloods on CBS? I mean, it's
Oh, I've
just
been so
it's a
lucky.
brilliant show.
I've been on that show 4 times as the same person. And they are the most organized, the most
Yeah.
they have got it together. I mean, they've been at it
Yes.
for so long that,
Yeah.
but a lot of TV shows are just very like, is it now? With Blue Bloods, like they know what they're doing. They've got it under control. You never have to worry. They've got it. It's just a fantastic set. They're really, really nice people. And I love being on it. Um, Although
Yeah.
the last time I honestly I have to tell you, I'm on an episode coming up, I don't know, a couple weeks maybe.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and
Mm.
when I shot it, I was pretty much the worst I've ever been on Blue Bloods. Like I kept forgetting my lines. I was really scattery. And all I could think of was like, thank God this is my 4th time here and not my first time, because I wouldn't have ever come back if this had been my first time here.
Now, I mean, is it something that they picked up on or just didn't
Oh, no,
meet
I mean, I don't know.
your
I'm sure in the control room they were like, "What is going on with her? Why can't she hang on to anything?" But like some days you're not so good. I mean,
right,
I was
exactly.
really not so good that day, and I apologize to them for that. But
Yeah.
but they've been lovely and they've had me back several times. So maybe, you know, whatever. I love that. I just think they're a great, great show.
You know what's cool about though it is? It's one of my favorites. It's just it draws you in. Once you watch the first 2 minutes, it draws you right in. The I love your not only the versatility and your humor, but also your go with the flow, roll with the punches. You seem to be somebody, and I'm very much like that. That's why I'm picking up on all this, the humor, the wit, the go with the flow. You strive for excellence, but you have this ability to also go with the flow, realizing that the set may fall down, the light may burst, things may happen. You may have a stomach ache, but you still got to go and do it. I've had all those things happen. And you seem to be somebody who goes with the flow, understanding that, things can happen and just do your best and give it your best shot and make the most of it. And you seem to be somebody who gets that. Not everybody does, but you seem to get it, which I think is a beautiful thing.
Well, I just don't see any other way to be in this business.
Or
You
in
know,
life.
Right, because things are going to happen. Obviously, things happened to an entire planet 2 years ago, right? Something happened and we all just sort of went like, "Oh, we have to radically change our direction." But we just didn't know for how long. And it's been 2 years. Um if you don't have that kind of ability to kind of like turn on a dime and figure something out on the fly, then I just don't even know how you deal in this world. And show business is just a part of that.
What have you learned about yourself? Yeah, this has been a time of introspection. We had Glenn Scarpelli on last night, of course, from One Day at a Time and so much more. And he is a exquisite episode of our series because he was so open and authentic, and he talked about how just in the last year or two during this time of reflection, downtime, he really took a deep look at his life, came to terms with a few things in his life, and he went through a major transformation, transition. He just really dealt with aspects of himself. It was a real couple of years of self-exploration where he came out of it really, really solid. And it was a beautiful thing that he shared. A lot of people in the last 2 years have had similar things happen. They baked all that sourdough bread. They watched all the nostalgic movies and the sitcoms and everything else, listened to a lot of music, reconnected with family, but planted the gardens, went to the arts, or at least online with it, or on TV, radio, Netflix. But at the same time, they paused and looked at their own lives and looked at everything that's happened and everything they've done, and then said, okay, next chapter. What do I want to do next? What are some of the things I want to do that allow me to continue to inspire others while I get inspired? What's some of the things that you discovered about yourself during this time of reboot and reflection?
Well, I think for me, it's been about where do you want to put your time and effort? Because I think it's really easy to kind of get caught up in this. I need to audition for every thing that comes my way, or I need to keep myself open for every whatever job happens, which I still sort of feel like, but I don't feel as strongly about. My line in the sand has been drawn about things I really want to do and things I don't really care about doing. So now, if somebody approaches me with a job and I don't automatically go, "Oh, that sounds great," I really think about it and I go like, "Do I really want to spend that kind of time on this job? If it takes me away from my family, is it worth it?" Um, we're always so programmed as actors to keep ourselves open for every opportunity, kind of like regardless of the personal hardship. And now I have to step back and go like, no, I don't want to because it's too much time away, or it's not worth it to me, or
It doesn't speak to who
it
you
doesn't speak
are.
to who I am and what I want to say. Right.
It's interesting because me too. Kindred spirits. And we've talked about it with some of the guests on the show. You've learned to do something that maybe you did, but maybe you weren't as effective at it, or maybe you just never did it. Or were afraid to do it, whatever, because this industry can make you do that too. You've created some boundaries.
Right. That's
and
it.
It took all this to happen to be able to create and to do it where you're like, oh, they're going to like this. I created boundaries. It's right. About me now. I got to do some things for me. And some people aren't used to that. And they like that. And it's like,
well, that's it. We're so used to like me.
And now caretaking and doing for others and lifting others.
I kind of don't even care if you like me. It's like, just, this is who I am. And you have to respect that I have needs and boundaries too. So.
Yes. Right. Exactly. And you're pleasing others. You're entertaining others. Right. You're pleasing others. You're caring for others. And that's an innate thing. You want to hear the clapping and the laughter because you want to put the energy out to lift others and take them away from their troubles, but it also feeds you as that feedback is coming your way.
Right. That's really it, I think.
That's what it's about. Wow. This was epic. This was another epic episode. You know who was here with us who just wants to say you knocked it out of the park? Mr. George Burns.
Hello.
He's with us every evening towards the latter part.
Well, I never had the chance to meet you in person, but it's lovely to meet you now, sir.
You also met God, too, because remember he played God?
Yes, that's right.
He's got a cigar.
Oh, God, you devil.
Oh, God, you devil. He's got his cigar. He's always dapper. And he said that, Ann, you knocked it out of the park.
Well,
he learned so much about you. He's always been a big fan. And now he's much more of a fan of Ann Harada.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
He comes in towards the latter part. This was epic. And I hope you'll join us again. We will keep the porch light on. What we do here are conversations. We don't call it an interview. Sort of Johnny Carson, Dick Cavett style, but at the same time with a modern twist. We let it roll. There's no teleprompter. There's no questions. You had no idea what I was going to ask in advance. You didn't know what photos or what direction. And I think that's really, and you roll with it, which I think is beautiful. And I think that makes for a much more relatable sort of experience for those who are watching along live and who will watch this later. And for you and for me, the connection to go in a lot of different directions about life, I think is a wonderful experience. And it was awesome having you a part of that tonight.
Well, thank you so much. And I'd like to thank June for putting
Oh,
us together.
yes, our dear friend. I
Because
hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as
totally
I did with you, my
This
friend.
has been really pleasant and lovely, and I appreciate the time that you took to research all of that stuff about me.
Absolutely. I want to show you a couple of comments. Thank you, Jim and Ann, for and these are the Lovedies chiming in from around the world.
Aw.
Mona is in New Orleans.
Oh, one
And
of my favorite cities. How
oh,
lovely.
yes. I have some fabulous spices and so much more she sent me that
Oh,
we're using with the
nice.
cooking. Thank you, Jim and Ann, for so much for your time tonight. Truly enjoyed the show. So nice to meet you. Thank you, Mona. Of course, she's always with us. And Mary Bishop is in Florida. This was a wonderful conversation tonight. Great learning about Ann's amazing career. Thanks, Ann and Jim. Our pleasure. Maureen in Arizona, USA. This has been a total blast. May your star keep shining brightly, Ann. Lovely hugs to you. Christine in North Carolina. Now we only see the top of your deck. It's, it's a big one. And this is from Christina, North Carolina. Thanks for bringing us smiles and laughter into Lovety Hall. That's what this is, Lovety Hall tonight. You truly have had incredible opportunities in your career, fantastic shows to be part of on TV and on stage. You are a fun Lovety. Thank you, Christine. Inside the Song in Nashville. Love the peaceful, easy feeling of your show. This is their first time here, and they're in our industry as well. They're in the music industry. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys will join us again and be a part of the Jim Masters Show live community here. And Kathleen Walker in New York City. That was supposed to say, so funny. Thanks for being here. So there must be a part one to that. We have to look for the part one. Thanks, Kathleen in New York. This has been a very enjoyable conversation. Thanks to both of you, Ann and Jim. My pleasure as well. Sharia Larson says, and Kansas. What a fantastic evening. Thank you for sharing your career and your wonderful humor. Good luck in all you do in the future. And I tell you, if you ever have a bad day, just pop on our show, my friend. And, you know, we don't put a time clock on. We could do a half hour, 20 minutes, an hour, however long. We just let it roll if the guest has time. Terry Ann is here. Thank you, Terry Ann. Thanks so much, Ann. Been a great time with us here in Lovety Hall. Really nice stuff, huh?
Lovely. Thank you.
This was terrific. You're terrific, and really loved having you on the show. And Dana, of course, in Canada, thank you so much for today. You're very welcome, Dana. All right, Ann, this was fantastic. And spread the word about our show. Good luck with all the projects. You're now a Lovety, so we have to stay in touch. Keep me posted on all the cool things you're doing, and continued blessing and joy and success for you.
Thank you so much, Jim. I really had a good time.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And there's no copay for the therapy either.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
We've all had therapy. You be well. You take care. And again, really a blessing to have you with us. You take care now. Okay.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. And Harada live from New York City. What a fantastic person. An epic conversation just for you. From all of us here at the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. We thank Ann for being here. She is a class act, but yes, very funny. If this is the first time you've discovered her, how could you not love her, right? And her versatility, phenomenal. She could take on anything, and she gives it her best shot, and I love it. And again, didn't you love that shot? Really, really cool stuff. We always have a good time on our show. And if this is your first time here, we welcome you to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We're doing something quite unique. Actually, I shouldn't say quite unique. One time I was at public television and a friend was talking to another friend, and I overheard the conversation, and the friend said, very unique. And the other person said, very unique. How can there be very unique? Unique is just unique. So I guess it's the same thing with quite unique, right? Because unique is just unique. And Anne is really absolutely amazing. Sherry says, thank you, Jim, for another fantastic evening. She is precious. Mm-hmm. Dana, thank you for being with us as always. Sherry, thanks for sharing thanks for sharing all the links on your social media. We really, really appreciate that. And all of you who do that, you take our YouTube episode links and you share them on your social media. That helps us grow. That helps us continue to welcome more people around the world to this special place, the Jim Masters Show Live on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Great show, Jim. Loved this night. Thank you, Dana. What a wonderful night. June, thank you very, very much. Next time I see you, White Castle is on me. And you guys are the best. And thank you so much for today. Again, that was really great. Thanks for all the great comments and all the levity and all the passion, you guys. And we thank Anne for joining us here on the show. Really epic. If you want to see this episode again, if you came in late or missed any of it, gang, it is archived exclusively right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Spread the word. If you haven't subscribed, whether you're watching live right now or you're watching this, 6 months from now, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's no cost. Click the notification bell so you never miss any of our incredible episodes, doing them about 7 days a week, almost 650 episodes. It's incredible. And give this episode a like. There's a little like icon on our YouTube channel underneath all the episodes. Give it a thumbs up, like, and leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel for us as well. We would absolutely love that. Yes, that would be fantastic. Hey, tomorrow night, we have another brilliant actress, daytime soap star extraordinaire, noted speaker. You know her from Edge of Night, yes, and Guiding Light. And also you see in one of those photos there, you see Red Fox, Della Reese. She was in that CBS series, The Royal Family, and so much more. And she's an incredible speaker. Marianne Aldis, she's going to be with us here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show Live. We cannot wait. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thursday, legendary television actress, Mary Tyler Moore Show, and so much more. TV legend and author of My 4 Hollywood Husbands, Joyce Bulifant, is going to be with us here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We cannot wait for her. It's going to be exciting. Then we have a special guest on Friday. We haven't announced yet because we're working on it, but stay tuned for that. She's a dear friend of mine, and you're going to love it. Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Incredible impressionist, comedian, voice artist, and the son of actress Marion Ross, Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days, Jim Meskimen. If you have not seen his incredible impressions, he's incredibly funny. He's going to be with us on Saturday night, which is going to be amazing. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. On Sunday at a special afternoon time, Cousins Gibb. Yes, Nick and Deborah are going to be here. They are cousins, and they are the family of the Bee Gees, the Gibbs. Maurice is actually Nick's father. Singers, songwriters extraordinaire. Again, they are family members of the Bee Gees. Cousins Gibb here exclusively on Sunday. Another great show for you, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And for those watching in the UK and Ireland, it's going to be 7 p.m. your time. Now, I mentioned, and that's on Sunday. That's really incredible. I did mention that Jim Meskimen is going to be here, son of Marion Ross, on Saturday. Did you see the episode we had with Marion Ross? Yes, that was epic. She's got a new memoir out, My Days. You're going to love it. And she was live from the Happy Days Ranch. It's a beautiful estate in California, and she calls it the Happy Days Ranch. And I hope to get out there someday. She wanted me to come and break bread. So many guests, so many great things. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live, Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, bringing back that lost art of conversation with poignant moments, levity, live interaction with viewers from around the world, the Lovities. Gang, if you didn't see the epic episode we had last night with Glenn Scarpelli from One Day at a Time and so much more, he was very open. He got real. He was authentic. This is his second time on the Jim Masters Show live. It was his return and appearance on our series. We've become good friends ever since the first appearance last year. And if you didn't see last night's episode, check it out. It's available on our YouTube channel. He just really is the real deal, a great guy. And he's been, everybody knows him from Norman Lear's One Day at a Time, but he's done so much more. He's also doing a travel series. He owns a TV station in Sedona. And last night, other family members surprised us as well as guests. So check that episode out if you did not see it. It was fantastic. Let's check some of these comments coming in from the Lovities. Once again, Jim, all the Lovities sure enjoyed Anne's stories, her energy, and the conversation. We just loved this episode. Anne is so talented and hilarious. Thanks for this excellent and fun show, Jim. Good night, all. Thank you, Christine. Sending Lovity to you in North Carolina there. Mona in Louisiana, New Orleans. Hope you have a great night, Jim and Lovities. Love your shirt and new look. Good night, everyone. Hugs and love from Louisiana. Thank you, Mona. Yeah, the hair's still long, but we took it up a bit, and I'm just so happy that I'm blessed with thick hair. I'm just lucky. I'm blessed. It's genetics. I take care of it. I'm just lucky. And you guys have seen various incarnations of my hair during the last 2 years. At one time it was down to here, which is the longest I've ever had it in my life. We just did that for fun, during the pandemic situation. And so I had some major projects in television. I'll be at the PBS studio tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to be co-hosting segments for Australian Pink Floyd's PBS television special. I'm really excited about that. I'll be at the studio at 9:45 a.m. We'll be filming, co-hosting with my colleagues at PBS. Cannot wait. And but I've been doing a lot of the work that I do professionally. I do a television news magazine show series that comes out of New York. I do daily radio series and in-depth interviews on the radio, and a lifestyle travel TV series on CBS and CW stations. I work with public television, this series, and then a lot of freelance work too, voiceover work, narrations, emceeing, hosting, television shows, infomercials, corporate videos, you name it, stage performances, just like Anne was talking about. You do it and you do it all and you enjoy it all. So good stuff, good stuff. Oh, yes, it is. It's quite long. It goes down to here. Jane wanted it even longer, but for some of the things that I do, Jane, I couldn't necessarily walk into a television newsroom with hair like that. So we have bills to pay. So we kept it, we did like a happy medium. It goes, if you see, it comes down still to about here. This is a bear. I mean, this is a lot of work. It doesn't, always, I don't wake up with it like this. Although, lately, actually, I have been, where it just sort of falls into place, which is kind of cool. When the hair was longer, that was a bear, because that hair was in my face. Anytime I go outside, if there was a wind, it was just really something else. So it's still longer, but it's just a little more tamed. Did I get the text? I got to check the text. I got a bunch of texts, and I've been on location lately the last couple of days for some television projects, but I will check the text absolutely right after this episode. Thank you, Jim. Have a great night. Good night, all. Now, for those of you that don't watch this series live and you watch these episodes later, you see people saying goodnight and you're like, why are they saying goodnight? I'm watching this in the morning or the afternoon, and it's not night where I am. That's for the live audience. And if you ever want to join us live, you're welcome to join us live. And when you subscribe to a YouTube channel, you get to chat like they are and all these great comments. And some of our faithful also do super stickers and super emojis, or sometimes later they do thanks. There's a little heart. A lot of people ask, I love what you do, all this work you put into this. How do we support your show? A couple of ways. Spread the word. Tell everybody about our show. Tell them about our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Let them know about that. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We would love that. Click the notification bell so you never miss any episodes. You'll be alerted. So tell everybody, share the links on your social media as well. And if you want to support further, you can always do super chats, super emojis, super stickers, which is something we have exclusively here in chat when the show is live. If you miss an opportunity to do that, you can always support the series. There's a little heart icon underneath all the episodes, and it's called thanks. It's called like super heart thanks. And it's like a heartfelt thanks. You're letting us know that you enjoy these episodes. And all of that goes back into the hours, the production, everything, all the costs that it takes to do all of this as extensively as we do. So good stuff. And it is 3:09 a.m. where Jane is. That's a lovety. She's a dedicated lovety. She's always here. It doesn't matter what time it is. 3:09 a.m. in Sweden. And she's up. Uh-oh. You got a call for duty summons for tomorrow, but I called and there are no trials. My obligation is done. I'll see you all tomorrow evening. Was there an excuse or no? You said no trials, but I think an excuse would be, I can't miss the Jim Master Show live. No, I don't know if that would work. Binge watching over 600 episodes too. Check them out. They're all there, one after the other. And again, we thank you all for being with us. This was really fantastic. Dana, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know you love spreading the word about our show. Sincerely, thank you, Jim. Yeah. Everybody's all pumped up. Yeah, they all get pumped up when we do our Lovity chats. Sometimes, Nikki, I don't know if you've ever seen one of our Lovity shows where it's just me and the viewers. Before we go, last call, gang, last call, or getting close to last call. If you haven't sent in and again, this is for the viewers watching live, your childhood photo, send it in because we're building a very special Host Lovity episode celebrating our childhoods. Yeah, it's going to be cool. So a lot of you have already sent in. We only need one photo. You don't have to send the entire baby album. One photo works. Send us a photo of you when you were a kid. Could be a baby photo. Could be a photo when you were 13, whatever. But when you were a kid. And we're going to show those on the air on an upcoming episode of the Jim Masters Show live. Yes. I'm going to show a childhood photo of me as well. Your host will do that. So send it in. Now you can send it to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. We also have jimmastersmedia@gmail.com. So you can send it there. But if you want to do it quicker right now, send it to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Thanks to those of you who've already sent some in. We have them coming in. And there's some really cool photos you guys have sent of you as a kid. Some cuties out there. So we're rounding those up. If you haven't done it yet, get those in. Again, now if you're watching this a year from now, that doesn't matter. You can just scroll back and binge watch the episode. That was the childhood celebration episode. But for those that you are watching live right now, send in your photo of you as a kid, and you're going to see it appear live here on an upcoming episode of the Jim Master Show live. Yes. There's a couple, but you know what the best is? This one right here. My voice is an instrument. And I use my voice all the time, obviously, for what I do on air, on television and radio, and on this series. So I would say my speaking voice as well. I love guitar. I love piano. I took violin when I was a kid. And but the speaking voice and singing as well. We've done some singing on this show, believe it or not. Usually we've sort of reserved it for holidays. We've done some. If you take a look at some of our holiday themed episodes, you can scroll back. You can see some really fun episodes we've done with some of our musical guests, where we've sung Christmas carols with them and with all of you, and it's really fantastic. But yeah, so I would say the instrument that I am crazy good at the most is the voice. And then I would say, guitar, piano, but this is the one that pays the bills. The voice. I do a lot of voiceover work and narration as well. And I've done a lot of radio over the years, radio announcing and of course TV work. And I was on an episode of Law and Order. Yeah. I was also on this, I was on this great series that didn't last, like Ann was talking about some of the things that come and go, on FX. It was called Lights Out, and it was on FX, the TV network, cable network. And it was I played a college professor, and we shot the episode at a college in, I believe it was Westchester County, New York. And I was part of the faculty, and it was a really cool series. It didn't last very long, but it was cool. So that's when you get a call from Central Casting. Can you be in New York City in the morning at 6 a.m.? Somehow you end up finding a way to make that happen. Hey, gang, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment on the YouTube channel as well. Thanks to all of you who have been doing that. That really helps us big time, because when you do that, YouTube sees that, and then they take the episode. What it is they see that there's people that are watching and enjoying what we're doing. So they take the episode and then they push it out in their algorithm. It's all about algorithms. They push it out for even more people around the world to see everything that we're doing here on the Jim Masters Show live series. So definitely give it a thumbs up and leave a comment for us as well. And again, thanks for all these great comments. We really appreciate it. You guys are the best. And we love it. We love all this levity. So again, for those that are watching live, do not miss, if you if you do miss it, everything's archived for you. Award-winning daytime soap star, noted speaker and actress, Marianne Holiday is going to be with us tomorrow. Joyce Bulafont on Thursday. Then a special guest to be announced Friday. Saturday, Jim Meskimen is going to be here. That's going to be hilarious. He is so good. And the son of legendary actress Marion Ross. And on Sunday, Cousins Gibb, yes, from the family of the Bee Gees. We're so excited about that. Nick Endicott Gibb and Deborah McLean. They're going to be with us live on Sunday at a special afternoon time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. GMT, which UK and Ireland and all. So whatever time zone you're in, just check that. Start with 2 p.m. Eastern. Match it against 2 p.m. Eastern, which is our time here on the East Coast of the United States. We're here in the New York area of the United States. That's where the show comes from. Start there, and then you can find your time zone if you're in Australia, Asia, other parts of Europe, wherever you happen to be. Or it'll be archived, and you can watch it later. All right. So I think that's a wrap, gang. This was really terrific. We thank all of you for being with us and all of your time, and this little chat session after was fantastic. Terry Ann says, love your hairstyle, Jim. Looks great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that means a lot. And I'm just glad I have hair. I've been blessed with some good genes in that department. Thank you, fine sir, for yet another fantastic night. The pleasure is all mine, knowing you guys get a kick out of all of this. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you're entertained. You're inspired. You have a laugh or two, which we always like to do on our series. Then we thank you very much for being with us, and thanks for all the great love. Continue to spread the word. That really helps us big time. All right, gang, we're going to duck out. We never say goodbye around here. We always say see you later. So we'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I got a busy day tomorrow on the air, but we'll be here tomorrow evening at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. For those watching live, or again, I know I say it a million times, but we have so many new viewers that watch us as well. You can always see all these episodes 24/7 archived on our YouTube channel. All right, so since we don't say goodbye, we say see you later. We say Auf Wiedersehen and Shalom and Moy Loop and Slancha and let's see, Sayonara and Ciao and all the rest. You guys are the best. I think we have the best audience on the internet on what we are doing here, which is kind of like a television series on the net with all of you. So thanks for being part of our net and our lovely community. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you, and everybody watching for your time this time. Till next time, I'll be waiting for you. I'll be here. I'll keep the porch light on for you as well, just like we do for the guests. We'll have another good time together on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show live. Be well, take care, be good to one another, love one another, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.